What is up, guys? Private Eye Russ here. I am the titular character. No, that doesn't mean what you think it means. Look it up. Private Eye Russ, owner, operator of a full-service private investigation and security consulting firm. So, we offer a wide range of services, ranging from corporate theft investigations, whether it is material theft, embezzlement, or even the dreaded intellectual property theft. We have a really good team of experienced and dedicated professionals that will take care of you. Criminal defense investigations, litigation support investigations, infidelity investigations, obviously, as well as something we're getting a lot more demand for is the pre-long-term relationship or marital background investigation. Okay, so what this does is, it's not looking into credit checks or anything of that nature. What it does is it gives you a snapshot or a really clear picture of what your, soon to be or prospective spouse has been up to in the past. A lot of times people will hide their past, and we found some really juicy things that were hidden in people's past, especially women. Everything from hidden sex work, and I mean that's about as bad as it gets, to criminal activity, and so on and so on. So if you want to make an informed decision, which is all any of us should ever ask for, reach out to me. At Russ at privateiruss.com. Excuse me. RUSS at privateiruss.com. Alternatively, if you can't get through there, sometimes my work email blocks things out. Privateinvestigatorruss at gmail.com. That's privateinvestigatorruss at gmail.com. Or you can hit me up or send me a direct message on X. I'm there all the time. Another service I offer that I don't really advertise, but I'm bringing this to the forefront more because I believe I have a lot to share. If you need personal coaching, whether it's personal development, business development, strategic planning, if you are tired of being a passenger in your life and you want to take charge, if you're tired of being a wind-up toy, easily programmed NPC that the public school system and the public in general seems to want to crank out on a regular basis, reach out to me at russ at privateiruss.com or privateinvestigatorruss at gmail.com, and I will set you straight. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this video. This is Jedediah. She's been around for a long time. Shout out to her. Give her a like, subscribe. She puts out some really good content on, a daily basis, man. So shout out to her. So she's talking about Girls Night Out. The previous video I put out was a little bit longer video. This is going to be somewhat short, but the previous video was about girls' trips and what goes on. And all I did was react to a woman who does these girls' trips and organizes them, was saying about what goes down on girls' trips. If you haven't seen that video, like, subscribe, share these videos, go through my catalog. There's some really good stuff there, but look for that video. There's a lot of gold in that one. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into this. Girls' Night Out. Okay, and I'm gonna pause every now and then and give some commentary fair use.
You're like, I'm going out to the club. You have a boyfriend, you have a husband, whatever it may be. You're like, no, you stay home. I'm going out to the club for girls' night. And
okay, if your girl is going to girls' night, okay, she may not be cheating yet, but at some point she will be. Okay, this is a common practice. They will gaslight you. They will talk about how, if you're secure, you'll let your woman dress up like a hooker and go hang out with a bunch of dudes at a club. There's one reason to be at a nightclub. Only one reason to be at a nightclub, guys. You guys went to nightclubs for a very specific reason. They're going there with other dudes that are thinking the same way you were thinking when you went to the club. Okay, so what do you think that's about, man? All right, so stop letting yourselves get fooled into this nonsense. Stop letting yourselves get bullied and pushed into it and gaslit into acquiescing to this sort of behavior. This is unacceptable. Do not accept this behavior. Anyway, let's keep going. Fair use.
you see her getting all dolled up, top to bottom, in one of those outfits like maybe when she was trying to get you. Right? When she was trying to get you, she was wearing those outfits. But now she already has you. She's wearing them again. What's going on there? Why do you do that, women? How do you not sense that that's going to make a guy uncomfortable? Because you...
All right. Shouldn't be making you guys uncomfortable. All right. And she's kind of softballing this a little bit. But your boy Private Eye Russ here is here to add some more spice to this. Okay. They are looking for another dude. All right, they're getting dressed up, and they'll lie. Women will lie. Okay, we all know this. Don't get mad at me. Like I said, I get a lot of hate from people. I get hate from people that know me personally. I'll talk about that one day. I wrote a story about that on X, but I get hate from people personally that feel like I hate women. I don't hate women. I understand female nature. I understand human nature in general and the darkness therein. Everybody has a dark side. This is the darkest things we'll get when they tell you that they're dressing up for their female friends. They are not dressing up for them. They're dressing to compete with them for the male gaze. That's why they're dressing this way. That's why the hair, the nails, the dresses, all these different things. You have a bunch of married women going out to a nightclub and their husbands are home doing the dishes with an apron on. What the hell could go wrong? All right, anyway, fair use.
In his mind, it's like, well, who's she dressing up for? I'm home, right? We're getting all dolled up. She doesn't dress like that around the house, so it's not like she's doing it for herself. I've seen her hang out with her girlfriends in her pajamas. Where's she going to the club looking like a stripper? Trying to maybe feel out the room, maybe got 1 foot out the door.
All right, I'm going to disagree with her I'm going to agree with one point. She is trying to feel out the room. She is trying to find some other dude to link up with. Maybe not necessarily 1 foot out the door, though. And let me explain what I mean. A lot of people think women are looking for your replacement. Yes and no. What they're looking for is a sexual surrogate. So they're going to cut off the spigot for you. They want to keep you where you are, paying the bills, tuning up the car, all the rest of that stuff, respond to the bump in the night while she goes and humps some other dude. Okay? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to split your duty off with somebody else. That's what they're trying to do. It's not necessarily that they have 1 foot out the door. In most cases is that they want to keep you on the hook. They want you to stay where you are, and they just want another dude that they can go get freaky with. And again, licensed investigator with a lot of experience. What we found is when I've interviewed guys and sometimes the ladies who were cheating on them afterwards, right? I've had the opportunity to talk to both. Women will often give the guy they're cheating with access to more parts of her body and more activities than her husband will get. He'll get more than you will. You'll be at home getting just missionary, maybe doggy, maybe every now and then she'll look at it and act like she's going to give you a throat hug, maybe a handshake, but he'll be getting everything, including, the backdoor action, Hershey Highway, whatever you want to call it. She'll be giving him everything, getting splashed and covered with DNA while you're sitting at home, washing dishes, playing with the kids, building Lego Star Wars stuff. Stop letting yourself be fooled by this nonsense. Women will draw other women in, and I swear some of them are so self-destructive, and they will bring other women along with them for these fun girls' nights out, fun girls' trips here, fun girls' trips to there, and whenever we've investigated these things, okay, so I've investigated a bunch of these things. I try to say this to people, and people always think I'm making this stuff up, man. I'm not making this stuff up. So the girls' night out, all right, is a collective group that aids in the endeavor or helps. They're all complicit in the cheating. Okay, so some of the things we've seen is girls will go out, and I said this in another video, with a bunch of women. They'll take a bunch of pictures ahead of time, and then maybe 1 or 2 of them will split off with their dudes that they're going to hook up with or link up with while they'll leave their phones and their cars at the club. And so you got access to her location settings, and you think you're safe. And I've proven to guys multiple times that look, women aren't stupid. They're hip to that. So if they're voluntarily giving you access to their phone, okay, maybe they won't do it this time, maybe not the next time, but eventually when the right dude catches her fancy, she's going to make arrangements to meet up with him when they go out to the club. Maybe he doesn't enter the club, and we've seen this where they'll go in together, take pictures, and then when Jim Dandy pulls up, or Tyrone, Chad, Raj, Chan, whoever it is, Guillermo, or Jose. If somebody said Guillermo was not a good, cool Latino guy name, okay, sorry, Jose. All right, and then they'll go out. They'll do the deed back at Jose's house or Tyrone, Chad, whoever it is, Raj, that damn Raj, you got to watch out for him. And then they'll drop them back off at the club. They'll party. They'll hang out with their girlfriends. They'll get rehydrated because dude just wore them out. And then they'll travel back home. And they'll come home after they just ingested a bunch of somebody else's DNA, and they'll kiss you full on the mouth. Say, hey, honey, and you'll be trying to, get some whatever, and they'll be like, oh, you know what, I'm tired, I'm worn out, I'm just going to go to sleep. Yeah, of course she's tired, she's worn out. So stop allowing this nonsense and have these talks with women before you get together with them and say, look, man, I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm not tolerating that nonsense, so you need to go ahead and kill that. It's not going to happen. Okay, so if you can't deal with that, then we don't need to be together. Find some other dude who's going to accept that behavior. Stop allowing this stuff. All right, so anyway, guys, this is your boy Private Eye Russ. This has been a short reaction video. Shout out to Jedediah. Subscribe to her channel. She puts some really, really good stuff up. She puts out some pretty honest and forthright information, and she doesn't really pull punches, which I like, I admire, because too many people are trying to, tiptoe around everything. I'm not doing that. I'm going to keep giving you guys the truth. Like I said, I get a lot of hate from people, and I've gotten a bunch of hate mail, and even people have made threats. And, the people making threats, man, come on, man, stop with all this nonsense. If you don't agree with me, you don't agree with me. I think you can learn something from me. But, threatening people on the internet is like farting in the forest. I mean, did it really happen? And so I don't think, the things that I'm doing warrants any sort of threatening or threats. I don't think it's a very smart or equitable way to go forward. We should be able to have discussions and disagreements without people wanting to resort to violence. All right. So anyway, that's my say. This has been another episode of the Private Eye Russ podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit like, subscribe, share. Help us get over the 1,000 subscriber mark and beyond. We can share and help so many more men, and women can learn from this as well too. This is not just for men, but some women aren't really as open-minded yet. Some are, but for the most part, what I try to do is educate men. And so if we can educate more and more guys, we can start changing the landscape more and more. If fewer guys are allowing this sort of behavior because they're educated and they understand how things should be, this is some of the stuff you guys should have learned growing up, but look at the world we live in. Being a man is bad. Especially you white guys. Especially you white guys, man. like y'all be getting just battered. But it's not really a cakewalk being a black man either. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we are all men. And without us, all right, men are the glue that holds societies together. It has been that from time immemorial. I don't care what they say about feminism and women and matriarchal societies. We are the glue that holds society together. We are the glue that will hold society together. And so, but if we're weakened and watered down, what happens to the rest of society? Men need to be stronger. We need to be stronger. We need to support each other as well too. A lot of times, guys just leave each other, and you're just on your own. When I got separated, a lot of our so-called family friends, between me and my ex-wife, dude, these people parted from me like the Red Seas did for Moses. And I did a lot for some of these people, and they were just like, yeah, okay, yeah, peace, Russ, we're out. And everybody went radio silent. Okay, fine. And I had a lot of other friends outside of marriage. My ex tried to get me to just kind of pigeonhole with her friends' husbands, and so I'm going to give a side note before I sign off. And I said this in another video, a couple of other videos. I'm going to keep saying this. I'm going to keep beating this drum. One of the ways women will try to get you to accept these behaviors, they will try to gaslight you. They will say the whole, well, don't you trust me? Okay, well, if you don't trust me, then you're just insecure. You should be secure in our relationship. Okay, don't go for the head fake. That is a head fake. That is complete nonsense that is designed to get you to drop your guard, because nobody wants to be called insecure. Oh, no, I'm not insecure. I'm secure. Because somehow that's a magic wand that gets you to just shut up and go away. And it's all designed to intimidate you into silence. Do not be silent and do not be intimidated. Next, those family friends, those married dudes that are their wives are good friends with your wife, here's what they're going to do next. They're going to take you aside. There's going to be some get-together somewhere, a barbecue or whatever. You know how men always gather around the grill. You know, for some reason, we're drawn to that like flies to doo-doo. Don't know why. I'm guilty of the same thing. You know, I see some dude grilling. I got to walk up and be like, hey, what you got there? So maybe it's just something that's hardwired into us. They will pull you aside, and they will give you the talk. The talk will go something like this. Hey, you know, I let my wife go to girls' night out. I trust her. I'm secure in my marriage and my relationship. She wouldn't do anything. I let my wife go. You know, I don't have a problem with her going on girls' trips to Dominican Republic to get massaged by some jacked Dominican dudes or, you know, girls' trip to Vegas, because what could go wrong? And so on. And so on. Now, when I was giving that talk, I just looked at these dudes like, dude, who are these guys talking to? Most of these dudes were, you know, what a lot of my old Latino homies from California. Shout out to the essays out in California. They would call them Edgars. They would call them Edgars. It's like, dude. I understand game. I know the game better than most people do. So, you know, when I got married, I didn't suddenly forget game. And so I just looked at these dudes like these dudes are crazy. Consequently, here's the funny part. Those same dudes, their wives are on dating apps today. Like out of like 5 or 6 of them, four of their wives, I saw their wives on dating apps when I started doing the dating app thing right after I got separated. Big mistake. I did okay on the dating apps, but they're still a waste of time. You're much better off meeting women out in the wild. It's not that difficult, guys. But, you know, anyway, we'll talk more about that stuff as we go forward. But don't buy the bullshit. Don't buy the hype. These guys are lying. These guys are suckers. Or they're either lying, and they're complicit, which I don't think most of them are. I think most of them are just suckers. These guys, excuse me, I don't know what happened there. These guys are just chumps that they want you to follow in the same path. Don't believe the hype. Anyway, this is your boy Russ. Sorry for the side note there. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Private Eye Russ podcast. Stay plugged in, guys. There's going to be a lot of good information coming forward. And in the days, weeks, months, years ahead of us, we will be telling more stories, a lot of reaction things with my unique take on things, not just as a private investigator and owner of a private investigation security consulting company, but as a former executive protection specialist, private security detail agent, you know, military, you know, combat veteran, and so on and so on and so on. I've got a lot of life experience. I did a lot of bodyguard work out in California. We're going to be talking about some of the LA and Hollywood bodyguard stories. Some of them were pretty wild. Anyway, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.